Hello there. So this is a quote-unquote test run for the new video format I'm hoping to do. I'm hoping to do some match analysis for some of OCE's Strive games. This is going to be the first one. Nami very graciously gave me some footage to work with over one of his earlier sets for, I believe, it was Never Bluff 9. Right? He fought Bread early in the bracket. He won the set 3-0, but he was hoping for some analysis from yours truly. So here's the first go. It's Kai versus Millia. Most people view Kai versus Millia as a very even matchup overall, mainly due to the fact that both characters have very good counterplay to each other's defensive tools. Millia is very good at keeping Kai locked down, but Kai has very good answers to Millia's movement and air options overall. Right, so it's very give or take, right, and I think it's very much a matchup where the better player wins actually within this game, which is an oddity, I'd say, in this game. So yeah, let's get right into it. Hang on, I think I had to get rid of some stuff here. Round start, jump back, keep it still. That's going to be... I did watch this set before, by the way. I'm mainly going to focus on what Nami does within the set. Nami does take the set overall, but I think that's more because Bread makes a lot of mistakes and lets Nami get away with a lot of what I think are pretty bad defensive measures overall. You already see a few of those in this round, but we'll get into it as the set goes on, right? Bread's already established a pretty fantastic lead here from a few jump-ins. By the way, this is unfortunate how this goes. By the way, I feel like a DP was there. Nami's fireball game is pretty interesting. I feel like it's very much a hangover from how they play through other matchups, rather than Pacific plan against Bread. Right, that's some unfortunate spacing, but good stuff from Nami there. All right. Ooh, so this is the first thing I want to go over. You're going to see this happen from Nami a few times. Bread is less concerned about it because Bread tends to go for simpler routes, so they don't worry about it as much. But Nami's execution and the sort of combo decisions they make, a lot of them are really smart, but then Nami will drop the ball quite a lot. That should have been a stun dipper right there, ended in fireball instead. And I doubt they wanted to set up for shock state that bad. They wanted a position at the wall. They couldn't really enforce that. And Nami will do that a few times throughout the set. Simple execution errors, but they do make a big difference in a lot of situations, I feel. I do like the response, though. Air dash back. Heavy slash will always be a fantastic strat with Kai. Never a terrible option to do that. Okay, now this is already... Okay, so it doesn't work out for Nami, but already Nami does something very smart that I'm a big fan of, right? They start playing Airborne, right? Let me fucking get this footage correct, right? Wait for it. This here. Now, I'm just gonna say this now. I wish Nami did more of that throughout the whole set and with more intent. Nami has already shown a very good understanding that Kai's air normals are fantastic at countering Millia's movement. One of the reasons the matchup is generally considered more even, right? The main issue with his air normals within the matchup is the high recovery. Basically, every normal that isn't JP has very high recovery, so there is a fair amount of commitment to challenging her in the air, but it's made up for with the fantastic range and good conversion ability that Kai exhibits throughout his kit. So Nami making these choices is very smart, but I don't think it's so smart as the fireball. The fight now, and I'm just going to say this, using Kai fireball against Millia is super situational. Unless it's knockdown, it's so bloody situational because it's a Strive fireball. Tons of recovery, and generally just okay-ish speed, even with the patch that reworked them quite a lot, right? And as you can see, it costs Nami here, even as they land, they're still in counter hit state, they're still recovering. They get knocked down, they get away with it, fortunately. Using FD to defend themselves, good choice here. This is a brilliant anti-up, by the way, but they mess it up. Again, they use Fireball too early. Just simply even go... I think the main intent was trying to bait burst. Nami does this a lot. We'll get to it in a bit, because it happens again. It should have ended with Fujarak, right? Fujarak would have given you the knockdown for the knockdown. Now here, I don't think you should have baited here. I think this is a bad bait. The only reason I think to bait here is if Bread had previously established that they were super trigger happy on their burst. They had not established that at all. You give up a ton of damage. You don't even get to steal their burst. And look at the life lead here. You are winning this round pretty handily. Bread is up a round. Right, Bread has very little incentive to burst at all. All you're doing, I feel, is giving up damage here when you don't really need to. This isn't a situation where you need to outsmart Bread. This just needs to be a situation where you bully them into an even worse position than they're already in. Right, where if they choose to give up burst, great, they've given up burst. If they don't give up burst, great, they take tons of damage. You potentially win the round off a wall break. There's basically the only bad decision I feel from this hit is to bait the burst, and you did. Right, I think I don't think you continue to do it throughout the set, but I think this cost you a lot. And if Bread was a better player, it might have even cost you the round. Fortunately, you do get away with it thanks to some unfortunate mashing on Bread's part. But always take note of that. Whenever you do it, whenever you're baiting a burst, always consider what is the core intent of baiting this burst outside of obviously the dopamine rush of I've baited the burst, here comes the damage. Right? What is the intent and what incentive do they have to burst? Right? Because there's more to it than just, I don't want to get hit. Of course. There's an unfortunate run up into a mash. Decent stuff from Bread. Another thing you'll see Nami do a lot as well. They backdash a lot in defensive situations on Wake Up, right? I think you'll see it again here. Yeah, exactly right. Now, fortunately for Nami, Bread didn't adapt to this very well, but Nami did this every time, and it's not very good to use against Millia. But if I may quit rambling on for a bit, this anti-air, and this goes into what I was saying earlier about Kai having... going back into what I said earlier about the air normals, Kai has unfortunate commitments in the matchup, but if the commitment works out, boy, he's got some of the best punishment against Millia in the game, dude. This 2H here, this is fantastic. This is brilliant. You should give yourself a huge pat on the back for that one. That was so fucking smart. Right, catching the air dash, big confirm too, into massive damage, forcing the burst as well. You fully committed. That was such a good play, right? Completely even up the life lead, even up the meter. Every correct decision there. Now, this was very unfortunate, though. This little PRC into BRC exchange. Now, unfortunately, Nami was at just the right height where Bread could pretty willingly press close slash, and the best option Nami could have done here was block. If they were closer, they could have gone for DP to just smoke Bread and get them off of them. But Kai's a bit high here. You'd have to risk the timing there. Close slash is a pretty unfortunate normal for Millia, except if you're airborne. It's the fucking greatest anti-air in the world. It's such a good anti-air normal, but everywhere else, especially in refresher, it's pretty rough. But here, this is the perfect situation for Bread to press close slash. So this is good from Bread to PRC challenge here. Nami with some unfortunate counterplay gets counter hit. Good confirm too. Actually, no, it wasn't a good confirm. I forgot about that. I forgot he drops it. Also, another real thing. I think Nami from now on, I see you do it constantly. Against slippier characters like Millia and Chip, go for charge stunnage instead of Zero Clat. Don't risk the extra damage and the run up for the close slash Oki. Just take the charge stunnage Oki. I think that's much better. It's better risk build, risky for the opponent. They're going to give up more bar to FD probably, and if they don't, that's just more risk build. I think Kai has. It's a lot better for Kai. It's a lot more kill potential if you go for this. Also, no 50 bar RC off the throw, which was unfortunate. No challenge on the clash. Brett's got a tough situation to fight through. Yeah, 50 bar. Yeah, that was good. That was good. Also, that reminds me. I remember watching this. You clash up, right? And you chuck this fireball. That fireball was actually, I think, perfectly spaced for the situation you wanted. I think you should have PRC'd then. I'm very surprised you didn't, to be honest. It's not terrible that you didn't, but I think if you really wanted to put the pressure on Bread, you should have just bullied him into submission with that. Bread has shown they do not have high-level defense, so you could have easily bullied with a uncharged dust and got the kill there. Still, good first game from Nami, absolutely. Bread had some decent counterplays too. Now, I think Bread's going to showcase something that I really wish Nami... Yes, this. All right. So, Bread has shown 2 round starts in a row that they are willing to just do the Millia thing, hop away, get away. Now, Nami, if you keep fighting Millias, what I want to see you start doing is I want you to start meeting them in the air. Because I see you do this a lot. You are constantly trying to challenge Millia from the ground. And while that's a fine approach, there's nothing wrong with that approach at all. I think ultimately, when it comes to being versatile against multiple types of Millias, you're going to need more than that, right? Just relying on 6Ps are not going to be enough, I feel. You're going to want to start jumping up and really meeting them in the air and forcing them to deal with you all the time. Right, it's really the key to just bullying Millias into submission and getting good, consistent win rates against them. right? If you're able to constantly show that your air presence is just as good or as threatening as theirs, you can really put the heat on them. And it really forces the Millia to adapt to you properly, right? They're going to start doing Capella a lot more. They're going to start need to experimenting with Turbo Fool. And Bread does not showcase this. They don't use Turbo Fool. I think I see one Capella in this whole set, which is madness. Capella's so strong, right? And a lot of jump heavy slashes, which is one of the easier moves to counterplay, and you get hit a few times by it. So I'd pay attention to that next time you fight someone like Bread, or even a higher level Millia like a Kame. See, there you go. That was a good Capel from Bread, right? Very strong normal. See, again, you're letting them get away with these air dashes. That was a good jump back IAD though. I like that. Gotta be careful of the double air dash. Cheekiest thing. Ooh, okay, that's a thing I want to bring up. Vudra Arc is super finicky to use in this matchup. It's so finicky to use in this matchup. Millia just, dude, she's so good at moving, bro. I know the appeal because it is a really strong counter hit anti-air. But Millia so often can just get out of the way, and as you saw there, she literally just ran under it. Super risky special to use, so I'd always be careful when using it. Good IADJ, so that was fantastic. Good confirm as well. We're gonna get the super. Well done. Bread's in a pretty poor position here. Oh, okay, I like the YRC. Yeah, we take the knockdown. Good Millia stuff. Wow, I can't believe you got away with that. I think you only got away with that because of the peculiar timing of that specific heavy disc. That's normally a pretty bad decision. Also, this is a thing here, right? That could have been the confirm. Oh, that we're both going for spaghetti confirms here. Another backdash. Jesus. That was a little spaghetti. That was a bit unclean. That was wild. That was classic Guilty Gear right there. Good use of the fast lash. I like your match there on their run in. Decent burst from Bread too, actually. I think this burst from Bread is alright. It's the cross up. Yes, there you go. Breaks that wall. Good stuff. Good stuff from Bread. I do think Bread's overall approach, though, is a bit too linear. Right? Oh, that was so spaghetti, actually. That was a huge confirm. That turned into nothing. Oh, no. Yeah, that's a classic right there. This time your anti-air. That's the committal anti-air, too. S6P probably would have been better there. Out of range as well. Good use of FD to get him out of range. Right. I'm not a big fan of this RC confirm. Yeah, Bread actually. That's interesting. Bread's decision making there, right? So Bread, so they get tossed, right, and they opt. Okay, I want to mash, right? You mess up your throw, bad spacing. They mash and they RC, and then midway through they're like, wait, I'm Millia. My damage is dog shit. This is like a terrible RC I've done. I'm going to give up and go for a mix up instead. I think that's actually good decision making from Bread, but I think Bread needs to clean up like their setup here. This is not a strong setup that they've done. Right? I think it mainly just works out because of the slow reactions to the cross up. But that's not very oppressive. There's plenty of time for Nami to see what's going on and make a good decision here. But it does work out. They get the cross up. I think a key reason a lot of these cross ups work too is Nami, I've noticed, they are so backdashy on defense. They're back, like, watch this. Oh, okay, never mind. They blocked that time. Okay, never mind. I take it back. Right? Oh, they're choosing to block there. I did notice on a lot of early exchange though, they like, if it looks like it won't be completely real, they're going to opt for backdash, which I don't think is the best defensive play with Kai. Okay, I loved that. May I just say, I loved this so much, actually, when I first saw this. This option here, right? I'm always skeptical whenever I see people just pull the PRC stun edge out of their ass, right? I mean, stun dipper out of their ass, because it's such an obvious play all the time. You see a kind of 50 bar, you're just tuned to expect it, right? Especially against Millia too, they're going to be jumping all the time. But I do love this response. You spot the IAD Holy Circle, right? And you're like, oh, I'm smoking this fool. I'm smoking him. The only thing that didn't work out was the conversion. You even do the IAD, you're just a little high, right? That's it. It really was a shame there. I think the only real way you could have converted that was either you chose to land or... I'm really curious what you pressed there, to be honest. I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to check. Right? Because I was very impressed with this play when you did it. If you did heavy slash, you might have been able to use the hitbox to hit the top, but I think you were just too far downward to truly get a conversion there. But that was an excellent choice you made. Absolutely excellent choice. No, that's good there. Dear Cart, you get the shot percentage anyway, so it doesn't matter. Oh, Bread was mashing reversal, but they messed up the input. No! What are you doing? What are you doing? This is what I'm talking about. No. Oh my god, you are Kai Keys. You don't need to complicate it like this. Alright. I like... Okay, listen. Listen to me. So, it's a super punish, but this is a mid-screen route you went for. Don't go for this here. You're Kai. You have 6H. Just go for the 6H, man. Oh my god, that was such an easy kill that you complicated for no reason. Alright. And you gave up burst for it too. It's okay, it's final round, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, but... Oh, you're lucky they don't react to throw, bro. Jeez. It's okay, it worked out though. It worked out. We take those. Striver's a game about spaghetti. It's just facts, mate. They all are. It's a spaghetti game. Nami very convincing in this set though. I think Bread's main issue in the set is just that their neutral is way too linear for what they're trying to do. Right? There's so many IADs all over the place. And the vagueness of their aerial movement, I feel. I swear, if they jump back again. Oh, they do back up. But I think Bread's vagueness of aerial movement, they're not using enough of Millia's options. Right? They really want to jump around all the time, but then they're always committing to stuff like JH. I think they really need to mix up the options with Capel, as I said, Turbo Full especially. Right? Not Bad Mood. Bad Mood's like atrocious. But like everything else, I think that there could be a lot more stalling when in air and stuff like that. Also, I think Bread needs to upgrade the grounded mix. Wow, I wonder what you were pressing there. That had to be a DP, right? DP is like so risky to do against Millia's knockdowns now because you got the better recovery frames, right? On H-Disc and stuff. So it's so dangerous to do that now. Yeah, as you know, getting tossed to death, big burst. Okay. I don't know when the burst me the place. There you go. I love this from Nami. Nami, you got to keep that up. You keep that shit up, 100%. The JS usage has been fantastic so far, and a really strong conversion as well. I think you could have landed a second future arc there, but regardless, that was really good. Charge dust, that's cheeky. That's an immediate play for sure. Ooh, okay. Cross up. Sets him up for the knockdown again. Man, you're lucky. Bread does not know how to do a safe jump. Jesus. Oh, bad confirm. All right, I like it. Yep, the classic. It's a good confirm as well. Well done. Sacred Edge. I think Sacred Edge is a fine choice there. Both supers were going to be scaled regardless. Yep, big. I'm surprised you didn't bait this, to be honest. I feel like this was an easy bait, especially since Bread had established earlier that they were willing to wake up super. I'm very surprised you didn't bait that. Don't you lose this round as well? Oh no, you met. Wow, that was an ambitious choice. Oh, that was unfortunate. I like what you were going for though. You went for the head air. Just some unfortunate timing there. Red sneaking away with that round. Wow, 2 trades. I do like the run-up jabs. I like the challenging the fast slash with the 2Ps. That's slick. That's very slick. Keep that up. This goes into what I was talking about earlier. No way you let Bread get away with that. Nah, you gotta tighten that up. You want to smoke Bread, like easy smoke Bread? Tighten that up. Air to air, DP even, right? Just there's so many options where you don't have to commit to the ground there. Millia's always wanted to jump out. The smart ones won't jump out, but Bread is not one of the smart ones yet. So you could easily smoke him for that one. Good mix from Bread though, using the turbo full. I'm not super happy with this burst. Wow, that was definitely a meter exchange. Capel, it's so strong. Ooh. Okay, I like it. I like to use the fireball there. No, that was good. Set up the shock state. Don't commit too hard. Red's got burst. This is a good round if you take the burst from them. Yes, this is great. No, where's the confidence? Nami, my boy, my bro, my dude. All right, this was such a good choice from you, actually. Okay, I like the throw to dodge any potential burst here, but you PRC, you adapted. You knew, okay, they're gonna seek jump heavy slash because they've been hitting me with it all day. I'm gonna smoke them. And this is correct. What you do here is correct, but you don't follow it up. Even if you don't see the close slash, you just assume it's gonna work. You got them in the juggle state, man. You're gonna smoke them. If this was a burst safe route, it wasn't burst safe at all because it was fast slash. You were in range. Right. Oh damn! Damn you. I think honestly, Nami, my biggest takeaway from the set is that you're too afraid of burst. You're so afraid of burst, and I don't know why, because you're pretty convincingly winning a lot of situations and getting hits. I don't think you need to be afraid of burst at all. Right. Oh, that's massive. Kill? Oh, hella dead. Now that's the set. That's game over. GG's. Well done. Oh, hang on. Oh, we're still going. We're still going. Run up dust? Run up low. I'm surprised. Run up dust would have been the perfect choice there. Again, another 2k. Oh, okay. This is a bit unfortunate. Bread could mount a comeback here. All them. Oh, bad confirm. You got away with murder there. Bread was on the... I think my biggest issue by far, and I'll use the first round that I used as the example. Let's go back here. Right. It's this. It's this. What's this fear for? Why are we so afraid of this tool? First, anytime you get there is almost like there's so few situations in this game where your opponent bursts and it's better for them, right? So few situations where that happens. Giving up burst is almost always universally a bad thing. It's why so many players do it at the start of rounds, like you guys do. It's because it's best to just give up the resource early so you can get the resource back later, because it's not good to use it on low health. It's desperate, right? But there's like, I see constantly you're fearful and you're doing like bad unburst safe confirms, but then hesitating the rest of the confirm because you're afraid of the burst. You don't want to deal with the burst. And at that point, mate, if you want to confront this burst head on, deal with it. Get it out of the way. You don't have to worry about it anymore. The situation here absolutely should have been make Bread fight for this round. Make him give this up, right? And this goes for a lot of the other confirms that we saw in the set that I've already brought up, right? I think Bread's main issue is their linear movement and just, I think overall, some bad defensive decisions, right? There's a lot of mashing on Wake Up from Bread, right? Which is not great, especially against Kai, right? Kai will smoke you for mashing on Wake Up. All he's got is mids, dude. What are you mashing against, right? But I think it's just a general, that was an unfortunate lack of confirm, right? But just like a general lack of control in neutral, right? It doesn't feel like they're utilizing all the kit. Like look at how much damage this was. And think about how big of a read this is from Nami, right? I gave him mad credit for this earlier, but the only reason Nami's able to go for this is because you've been so predictable with your IADing and your jumping that this motherfucker just assumed this guy's just gonna take to the sky. He ain't gonna think about the situation defensively. He just wants to get the fuck out of here. So I'm just gonna smoke him. I'm just gonna smoke him for this. Think about how arrogant your neutral must have been prior for him to just do that, and it works and it smokes you. It's a bad sign, right? So to improve your neutral, you need to showcase that you're not just jumping around because you're Millia and that's what she does, but you're jumping around because you understand just how hard it is to properly catch you and utilizing all your tools to your advantage to make that happen, right? Millia is a neutral monster, right? No shit. It's like the best thing about her. But when people, it's a really bad sign with you as a Millia player if people are doing this to you. If they're calling you out with 2H, right? Which for the majority of the cast is a high commitment, high risk normal, right? Not a good sign. It's a bad sign for your neutral. It means something needs to be worked on, right? Overall, your combo game's good. Your conversions they need some work, but both of you need some work. You're intermediates, that's expected, right? I'm not really worried about the confirms. I'm worried about your decision making, right? And I think a lot of it is really good and refined, but then a ton of it is also just super awkward, right? Like this decision here from Bread was fantastic, but then we get a terrible conversion following it up. That's the kind of things you get with intermediate play, right? You get these like spouts of genuine expert play followed by fumbling, right? And it's just something you two will need to work on over time, right? But overall, I'm actually quite happy with what I saw, especially from Nami. I think Nami played this really well, right? Especially I think I didn't bring this up, but the use of the throw game was very good as well. Good tech from Bread to adapting to the throw game, right? But just to put a pin in it, I saw so many double IADs, right? And some of them worked, but not enough of them, right? And Millie is a low damage character. To rely on that option so much, just begging to get smoked. You're begging to get smoked. You gotta be weirder about it. Have to be even less confrontational. Less worried about hitting him and more worried about just establishing how hard you are to catch and then smoking them via other ways, right? Millia's got to constantly be watching the opponent, constantly seeing if they're desperate to catch her, or if they're also willing to sit in neutral and wait, right? And then you've got to dictate your play style from there. Right? But overall, I was very impressed with both of you. I think you both did very well. right? I'd say mainly clean up your confirms. Bread should work on their neutral. Their setups are fine and their knockdowns are fine. Also, work on your safe jumps. Yeah, you got DP'd twice. Don't get DP'd as Millia. Shouldn't happen, right? Unless it's a normal meaty. If it's HGS, don't get DP'd, right? Nami's got to focus once again on the confirms, but mainly fearful and hesitant decision making. Don't be afraid of burst. To believe in your confirms. Believe in your knockdowns as well. Go for charge stunnage. Have more faith in yourself because you are a strong player. You're doing really well. But I see many moments where you, frankly, if you were like on top of your game, you probably would have crushed Bread. Bread might not even got a round on you if you were really packing heat that day. But a lot of hesitation crept in and gave Bread openings that he didn't earn, right? And I think that's your core issue here. It's a bit hard to critique your playstyle overall here because you did so well. But if that would be my suggestion, is have more faith in your decision making and the little victories you get in your match.